Shalom. First stop by giving all going on at Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakadash. Double on this to teach the tellers the force of a great millstone, likewise brothers putting out this truth. Faithfully fearlessly feeding the sheep and the brothers and sisters doing in Shalom. Today's lesson's title, America, aka Babylon the Great, will have a great fall. Now I'm using this meme here that I created with Humpty Dumpty, and any of you remember the nursery rhyme with Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, all the king houses and all the king men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. This is Great Babylon America right now, and what we are looking at, okay, is that this place that has sat on a high wall, has exalted itself, okay, is now in a fall. Let's start off with the book of Job 14, starting on verse 4 reads, "Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." So the Lord Yahweh Shemashah has set a particular time that Esau the Edomite, so-called white man, would be in rulership. And right now, that time is coming to an end. Okay, he can get only so far with his technology, with his MOTB that he's going to implement real soon, as we can see the crisis here in Great Babylon America and across this earth, okay, is about to, take a whole new level, okay, explode. People are very unhappy, okay, with their lives. Continuing, it says, "Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as a hireling his day. For there's hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease." Now Esau knows that there's no repentance for him. He's not going to be saved. The Lord Yahweh Shemashah hates him. He's the one that, gave up his birthright, okay, his inheritance for basically, pottage, okay, or red soup. And, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah hates him, okay. But in the minds of these Edomites, okay, Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, okay, they believe somehow they can get by, okay. And this thought of these elites, okay, and these puppet government that they set up, okay, that has actually gone to the minds of the people. So despite the fact that you see a lot of people are catching hell, okay, whether you're an Edomite or whether you're a Jake, okay, or any of the other tribes, they still feel that they may somehow escape their destiny. Take a look at this video clip.
Let me tell y'all something. After 10 years at a company, I was fired Friday. They fired me Friday and like 200 other people. I was part of a massive layoff. I was part of a massive layoff they had Friday. No explanations, no nothing. And after 10 years, you'd think that they'd give you some kind of explanation to why, but they didn't. But I know why. Because of piss poor management. I was part of that massive layoff at the Birmingham Water Works, and I tell you this, I'll never put any kind of faith in a company again. I'll never do it. I watch guys that's got mortgages and how vehicle payments and bills up to their eyeballs because it's such a good job, and now they're forced to figure out what they're going to do. So I've always said I'm going to go out on my own and start something. Well, this was the push, and I'm thankful for it. A lot of people's upset, but I'm thankful for it because I am sick and tired of working for the man. So, yeah, I'll update y'all as we go. But as of right now, I plan on going out on my own and figuring it out. I'm not looking for jobs. I'm not putting in applications. I'm going to make it one way or the other. But y'all pray for my guys that, a lot of them lost their jobs, all due to piss poor management.
My name is Cassandra Patterson. I served the waterworks for 7 years. Today, they called a meeting early this morning, and once we went into the meeting, they told us that our services was no longer needed, that they had eliminated our positions. Why? I don't know. So they are forcing us to retire. You have to be at the waterworks 10 years to be vested. I haven't been there never 7 years, but I can't understand why they made me retire.
Yeah.
They have drug tested me for the last couple of weeks, alcohol tested me and everything. When I walked in there in the morning, they said they was having a meeting, and our services are no longer needed. When we asked why, they couldn't give us an answer.
And as you saw in that video clip, I showed you from both sides, an Edomite and what looks to be a Jake woman, and Eve. And they have this false hope in the continuity of this place because they believe in all the lies that comes out of the king's mouth, But even a king within themselves, they already know, pursuing the Revelation 12 and 12, they have but a short time. And we as the prophets of Yahweh Shai, we ensure that they know that they have only but a short time. Let's go to Jeremiah 49 and 16. And it reads, Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, said the Lord Yahweh Shai. Proving what? Esau is going to get to a certain height. He's going to be, the ultimate rule on earth for a certain period of time, And we know right now, as you can look at the news every day, the people are moaning and groaning. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn, So the righteous have not come into rulership as yet. So right now we have a time of great mourning, famine, wars, economic strifes, all of those things that was taking place right now. Continuing on to Job 20 and verse 6, it reads, Though his excellency mount up to the heaven and his head reach unto the cloud, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? So, we know that saying out there in the world, like, man, this person's puffed up with pride to the point where their head is up in the clouds, they're on cloud 9, and this is the Edomites. I mean, you look at it, there's no challenge. I don't know if any of you saw, the speech that Trump put out the other night, and he spent, I think it was probably about 20 minutes just talking about how bad their military is and how tough it is and how no one can challenge them and what they did to Iran and all of this other stuff. I mean, there was no sense of humility or a mature, adult, like, let's talk about this, it's impacting, billions of people, this purge that they're trying to commit. This is all about them, and this is all part of prophecy. They're going to go to war. This is Malachi 1 and 4. It reads, Whereas Edom said, We are impoverished, but we will return and build a desolate place. Thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shai, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall be called them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shai had indignation forever. So again, this is Great Babylon America. The Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, or the white race, as Edomites. And their empire is not only here in, Great Babylon, America, but it's all across Europe and various other parts of the world, But as I open up with this title of this video, it says, America, aka Babylon the Great, will have a great fall, because this, is that whore that sits on many waters, or basically nations that dominates the world, through its military power, its economic strength, and basically just its cultural influence, but it's going to have a great fall. In fact, let's go to Isaiah 47, and so verse 3 reads, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame should be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Mashiach is going to come back as what? As himself. He's going to come as that ethereal, powerful, almighty being, that's going to put this man down. Continuing, it says, As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shai is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. And if you've been, paying attention so far, if you are still here with me, every scripture I've read, is talking about what? The fall of Great Babylon America. And who's going to bring about that fall? The Lord Yahweh Shai, the Most High, through his son, who's going to come and basically decimate Esau rulership, through what? Through extreme violence. Those chariots are coming here, and it's all about violence. In fact, let's close out with Revelation 18, verse 7, because you look at Humpty Dumpty, and I created it in a way that it represents America, and proud, very proud, okay, sits on a high wall, okay, and it reads, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I'm no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her place come in one day death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. So again, that's being brought down, okay, because again, this is a nation that has not seen sorrows, have not seen extreme death, have not had nuclear bomb dropped on them, has not really experienced famine. They have a program to counteract everything, okay, that goes wrong in other countries that don't have the ability to counteract it. Famine, excessive violence or genocide or civil war. But all of those are the things that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to bring upon Great Babylon, America. So Lord willing, that goes by giving honor to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Rakakadash. Shalom.